Welcome back to Building Together, everyone. My name is Colin, and in this video we're doing another Top 5 countdown for the Lion Knights Castle. Already in this series, we've done the top 10 minifigs and accessories. We did the top 5 most useful pieces. This time we're doing mini builds, and as always, I want to make sure we're clear as to what I mean when I refer to a mini build. Here, I'm talking about things that can be relatively easily removed from the interior or exterior of the set. For example, things like tables and chairs would count. The water wheel, not so much. And we might explore that in another video, but for now, let's get on with the countdown. Coming in at number 5 is the horse cart. Now, horse carts are fairly easy to build, yet tricky at the same time. Trust me, I've tried to build a lot of different types, and it's easy to overcomplicate things. This is, I think, simple yet effective. We use the blue flags as the sides, which I think is a fun technique, but what really stands out for me on this mini build is the 1x2 cheese slopes that fit the angle of the flags. If you just use the flags without something inside, they don't really work all that well. They're easily movable and it can look like a mess. But with those cheese slopes on the inside with the hay, it aligns everything very nicely. Also, I want to give a shout out to the bottom of the cart, in part because it's easy to overcomplicate these things, and the set designer has made this very simple and I think very effective as well. Next at number 4 is the vegetable and bread stand that we see on one of the main platforms of the castle. Now, there are a lot of different stands in sets, including the roller coaster and the loop roller coaster. Those have some fantastic mini builds as well, but I like this because it fits the theme very, very nicely. From the front, we have the new relatively new 1x1 bracket pieces that allow you to get the new half circle tiles up there. That looks really nice. And the way that you clip in the bread and the lettuce, that is a very effective thing. Many stands just have vegetables or food free standing in them. This one clips it down and it makes it a better stand than other options that we've seen in the past. I also want to give you a profile view. Not a super complicated build, but having the 1x2 hinge bricks with the 2x2 plate allows you to get a nice angle, and the way that it's put together is just really sleek and, again, very effective at what it's doing. It's not trying to make things too complicated. At number 3, we have the kitchen table. Now, I was torn between the kitchen table and the dining table, and I went with the kitchen table for one big reason. I think the dining table is nice, but it isn't all that unique of a build compared to other tables. The kitchen table steps up the game using the 1x3 tan arch at the bottom as connecting the relatively new arch pieces, half arch pieces that we've seen in some of the Hogwarts castles and other sets that make some really nice architectural details. This time, used for the table, works great as legs, and it's a pretty functional table, and it's one that's easy to miss on the inside of the castle because it's in the bottom level, in the kitchen, but I think this is a fantastic mini build. Coming in at number 2, we have the Yellow Castle micro set, or the micro builds. This is a really fun build, and I gotta be honest, I'm a sucker for mini Lego sets within a Lego set. The Disney train station had a version of the Disney Castle built in it. The Assembly Square modular building had the Eiffel Tower and some of the Lego trains, the expert trains that had been recently released at that point, and I thought those were fantastic. This is also really cool. It's a great shout out to the original Lego Castle in the minifig scale, but it's also really well done. It's simple, but it fits in nicely, and I have to say the creative use of the headlight bricks and especially the 1x1 corner panels does a real nice job of setting the stage for the outline of that castle. Now, before we get to number 1, as always, I like to do a couple of honorable mentions, and these mini builds are ones that aren't particularly unique, but I thought were kind of fun to build. The first one is the bed. Now, the bed is not all that special in terms of how they put the sheets together or even the pillow using the 1x2 white ingot piece, but what I really liked was the use of the party hats from the Friends line as the posts. I mentioned earlier that the dining table was in contention for a top 5 list, so it's hard to not include it in the honorable mention. I like the use of the 1x1 modified scroll brick in reddish brown. I think that was pretty cool, but I also liked the way that they garnish the tablecloth and the little greenery on the top. I think makes this a cool mini build. The last honorable mention is the ale stand. This is really small, really simple. I'm going to be honest with you. One thing made this nearly in the top 5, and that is the use of this new 1x1 modified plate that has this 1x2 inverted plate attached to it. I think the way that they use that and this 2x3 modified rounded plate is really well done, and it's effective. It's not super special and not something that really is enough to make the top 5, but kudos to the set designer because that's a fun mini build. And coming in at number 1 is the harpsichord. Now, when I first started building this, I was a little skeptical, but when it came together, I really liked it, and seeing it in the castle itself just is incredible. The way that they use knotwork to get the shape of the harpsichord is really creative, and the 1x3 tiles really help make this a smooth build and looks fantastic. The 1x2 piano tile is an effective use of the piece there, but the narrowness of it and the way that it fits in so neatly in the castle itself gives it some extra points. The inverted arch is also a very nice touch to get that design element in the shape of the harpsichord and gets the number 1 spot on this list. Now, if you disagree with the top 5 or you think I should have included something else, please let me know by commenting down below. And if you disagree with my number 1 pick, go ahead. Let me know what you think should be the number 1 mini build of this set. So thank you for watching the video. Make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, and always remember to keep building together.